Okay. And then now that we have it, what about when we have our student example here? The first thing that we can do is if we want to give feedback, we're actually going to select the rubric criteria. And what these allow you to do is this allows you to upload the rubric that you have. So now whether I want to use this one or I use this one, doesn't really matter. The main the main thing here is that it's going to take the rubric that you insert into this prompt, and then it's going to essentially grade it based off of that. Okay. So I already downloaded Mr. Steve's original rubric into a PDF. And so I'm just going to click upload rubric, and here it is right here. So I'm going to grab that PDF and it's going to insert it in. I do want to just change. I'm going to make sure this is 10th grade. And then here, oops, here we can just go over and we can click brisket and it'll just based off there. If there's for some reason some other things you need to focus the feedback on, maybe if there's an additional piece outside of the rubric that you want to make sure that it covers, you could enter that in there. But we'll click brisket and then it's going to start to put out the responses to the student's work. And it's going to do it on this little sidebar over here. And then what you can do is if you want to insert those, you can. So like for procedure, we'll just do this so it's correct here. Maybe we want to just have our procedure notes here. So I'm going to copy that and then I'm going to paste that in. So this is actually my feedback for that student in regard to procedure. So what's nice is it's reading the different areas based off of the rubric. Because if we look at Mr. Steve's, we have here's our categories: formatting, purpose, procedure, data analysis, and conclusion. And then it's taking into account what the um, what you need to have in order to meet like the highest criteria. So then when you have gaps in that, and if it's something that's not, meeting that highest mark, this is going to give some feedback. And one thing that's interesting is you'll have like positive feedback, or you'll have, like in this case for procedure, you'll have like a positive and then a constructive criticism there as well. So you have both of those, and then you could continue to insert in. So if you know, like your data analysis, you can put that here and just continue working through that based on the rubric. Okay. So, and you could do that for all of your students. You could just, and one thing that's actually really nice that I found out is that if, let's say this is student one and then student two is here, I noticed that when you click brisk and you go to give feedback and do rubric criteria again, it actually keeps the rubric inserted in there, which is great because if you're sitting there and you've got to go through 20 of them, it already puts the previous one in, and then you can just continue going through and doing that for each different student's assignment. And then you've got your feedback there. One thing obviously to be aware of is that when you are making switches, if you are switching over to a new assignment, um, you'll want to check and make sure that when you do click on give feedback, if you don't want that rubric in there, just hit the X and then that will allow you to upload a different one into it. So that's how you can, grade your students pretty efficiently, give them feedback specific to the rubrics that they've already received and that they're basing their work off of. And then it's a really great way to get them that feedback. One last